Face the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, we ask your blessing on this meeting. Give us wisdom and courage. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I'd like to call this evening's meeting of Jackson City Council to order. We'll open with roll call. Ms. Boone?
Foster.
Here.
Elliott.
Here.
Colby.
Here.
Peters.
Here.
Newkirk.
Here.
Young. Here. Bach.
Mayor Evans, you have a couple of recognitions. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Yes, I'd like to recognize Chief Hinch as he walks across the floor. No, I do have two recognitions tonight that I'd like to bring before council. The first, I'd like to start with a long time, they're both city employees. I'll start with Shallon Ray, if you'll come to the mic up here, Shallon. A long time city employee. Started working for the city clear back in 1999. And he worked for the electric department the whole time. He is currently the foreman over the linemen in our electric department. And in October, Shallon received an AMP Hard Hat Safety Award. You might have seen it. AMP's already advertised it, but I wanted to bring him here before council. It recognizes individual employees of AMP members, which we are through our electric department, who adhere to on-the-job safety procedures, to promote electric safety within their department, and are 100% safety conscious. So I just wanted to congratulate Shallon, thank him for all he does. He's a great city employee, does a great job helping run the electric department. Congratulations on your award, Shallon. I'm going to re-present it to you. You know, it's an AMP award. Of course, Pete's going to want a picture. He's going to want another picture. Thank you, Joe. Congratulations. And I've got everyone else here wanting to shake your hand too. Oh, sure.
Thank you. Thank you, Marvin.
Congratulations. Order two. Great job. You did
And we're going to jump to a brand new employee, someone who had just come to work for the city in September. In fact, he's only 24 years old. Zachary Sloan, if you'll come to the mic, Zach. Prior to being hired as a Jackson patrolman, he was a patrolman in the village of Oak Hill for a few years. He resides in Oak Hill. We had hired him in February on our auxiliary police department. A little over a year ago, we had one of our patrolmen leave. He resigned, Patrolman Nick Spangler resigned then to go to law school. And we had left that position open for a while. And Chief Hinch was looking for the perfect person to fill that position. And we think we found him. Zach brings our police department to full staff of 12 officers now. Zach, I want to congratulate you. Welcome aboard. And just wanted to get you here and introduce you and recognize you ahead of council. So everyone knows who our newest policeman is. Okay? So we'll get a picture here too. Up here too, Pete?
He told me that's what I had to do.
All right, gentlemen. 3, 1, thank you. Congratulations, Zach. Introduce yourself to the rest of the team here.
What Sloan's in her pill? Really? Okay.
Congratulations.
Congrats. That's all I have tonight, Dan.
Thank you, Mayor. Next on our agenda is we have a couple gentlemen who signed up to speak, and then another one who came to speak this evening at the meeting. So we'll start with John McMillan. John, if you want to step to the mic. You have 5 minutes there, so John, I'll turn the floor over to you.
I'm John McMillan. I live at Redonda Drive. I've lived there since October of 20. They come and flush the hydrants regularly, twice a year. Seems to be there's hardly any water in them. Right after 20, when they flushed it, I didn't see the first one at 20 because they did it before I moved there. But in the spring of the following year, I seen it, and I approached Mr. Schwackhammer about it, and he told me we was third on the list, that South Street major water line was first. He didn't say who was second, said we was third. So I understand that, So time goes on, they continue flushing like they're supposed to and everything, and I just know that there's you can't hook a truck to it. And I was there the other day when they flushed it. 0 on the gauges on it. The deflector they put on it, probably 2 feet long. It probably didn't put water out 2 feet past the deflector. A long story short, I kept in touch with Mr. Schwackhammer over the time period from 2020 up till now, and he told me that they had a solution for it. They was going to run a line from the pump station over by the high school, across the property owner, tied in the top of Redonda Drive, somewhere there. So, that's fine. Had to get an easement. So time goes on. I never hear anything. Nobody, nothing, So I approached him about it again, and he said the property owner wouldn't give him an easement. Well, he told me before who the property owner was. So that's fine, So I let it go for a while longer. Well, I ran into the property owner. I asked him. Property owner said nobody from the city's approached him. So the only thing I can say is that I want to say there's a problem, and it needs to be addressed before there's a bigger issue, a major fire. The nearest fire hydrant that I can see is 1,200 feet, and I don't know whether it works properly enough or what. But there's a lot of nice homes up there. We don't have sidewalks, we don't have curbs and gutter, and we don't have street lights. We're not asking for much. We're asking for fire protection, good fire protection. And I have a petition, 31 names on it. People's interested. I was interested in it myself for quite some time. And then the last couple of times they flushed the hydrants, some people come out of their house because they was using water. A lot of those homes up there have the tankless hot water heaters. It requires a certain amount of pressure incoming for those to work properly. They have an alarm on them. When the pressure drops, the alarm goes off. You got to shut it off or you burn it up. I have one. 3 or 4 houses around me has one. So we're interested. We want to get it fixed. Please fix it. Please get it right. Before, I would think you'd want to fix it right now or start on it right now before something bad happens. It's cheaper to fix it now than it is to fight a legal battle in the end after something's happened and you've been put on notice that there's an issue. I'm not threatening nobody. We just want it fixed, That's all I got to say. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Mr. President, I was, at this first ward, I was given a petition that I'll enter into the record with, I think there's only like maybe 40 houses there. I think pretty much everybody signed this.
31 houses.
31, we got a name for basically everybody on the whole circle. So I ask, what is the plan? What is the city, or what can the city do to get this fixed? It has been an issue for a while. What's happening?
Yeah, it's been an issue longer than we've been. For residential, there just isn't grant funding, so all this is going to have to come out of income tax type money to do this. We've been moving forward with grant projects, So this will be a all straight out of the pocket type project, most likely, just simply because of the small number of people involved and the fact that we are meeting the minimum as far as the EPA requirements on pressure.
That's for drinking water.
Understand that?
I understand that too, that's for drinking water, and, the drinking water's fine. You know, but fire protection is what we're after. Drive up there some nights, pitch dark. No street lights, no curves, no gutters, we don't want that. We just want some good fire protection. Like I said, I took my golf cart and my wheel and I measured to the nearest fire hydrant, each direction on Ralph Street, Gay Street, both directions on Ralph. It's 1,200 feet, the closest one, and who knows if they work. My question is, anywhere in the city, if there's a major fire and the department rolls up on a hydrant, do they know if that's going to work if they hook onto it?
That's why they're going around and testing and flushing them all.
That's right, but is there a record? Them fire hydrants should be color coded to know what pressure's on them before they even roll up to it.
They record every one of them they do.
But they have been color coded for some time. You replaced 2 hydrants up there, the 2 that we got, when you said they was bad. That didn't generate nothing. You found 2 leaks, you fixed them, that didn't generate nothing. So, you know, we're going along with you guys. But now we're down now where you've done everything, you've said everything, it needs to be addressed, it needs to be fixed. Because I'm telling you, there's a major fire up there, somebody's insurance company is going to go through the ceiling when they find out that the city's been told non-working fire hydrants, and there's a huge loss. I hope it don't happen, but it could be anything that starts a fire up there. You know, that's why the names are on that petition. It was me first, Mr. Swackhammer, that was concerned. And then as you go up there and open them up, flush them, everybody comes out of their house at their home because they see what they got. You know, it's time to do something, people. That's all I got to say.
Mr. President, so you're talking about income tax funding. We do have reserve funds, true, for projects that arise as well. What do we have in a reserve fund for water?
The reserve fund is for the plant.
Okay, so what can we do? How much do we even know how much it costs?
Not at this time, because it's been several years since we've even gotten an estimate.
Can the city's forces put that line in? I'm
Or
asking.
the elevation.
I mean, you've got the equipment, it just takes a small excavator to come across there. And I know you got one to Burlington if you're coming off of the high school, you know, and an easement and stuff. It don't take long to lay line in an excavator and a few guys, and if you get the right easements and stuff and permission to do it. I mean, that right there would save you a bunch of money if it has to come out of your funds, you know, but only thing I'm asking for the people, I'm speaking for everybody that signed that, and the ones that wasn't available, we want something done. Thank you.
First, I've ever heard that we had fire hydrants that don't work. So, and we've not, to my knowledge, don't have any estimates of costs to run new lines there yet.
Mr. President, just a related thing, like, he is right, those hydrants were painted a certain color for pressure, and we painted them all red. I get aesthetically they look great, but they were painted that way so if the fire department rolls up on it, they know how much water is going to come out of it. You're saying that it's written down, well, I mean, it's not like you can Google that. So how fast would the information be in an emergency situation where, well, what's, at the corner of, Gay and Redondo, there's a fire hydrant, who do I call to find out what the pressure test is at? So I say we need to repaint those hydrants back to the standard that they were painted before we painted them all red, because they did serve a purpose. That's how we can gauge those things. So I would like to see that change just for a safety precaution, so we actually know.
Another thing is, I don't know where you're getting your numbers. I know where you're getting your numbers off the reading off the gauges, but I was there the day they did it the last time. I got a picture on my phone. The 2 gauges on that thing, 0 pressure. It didn't even, it had pressure coming out of it. I mean, when you go to the fire hydrant anywhere in town, it'll blow plumb across the street if it's working good. This one here runs out about from here to that chair right there and just falls out on his face. You know, I got a picture on my phone of all the equipment they had on that hydrant, and I asked the guys that was up there, is that wide open? They said, yeah, I took pictures of it. Both of them had zeros on the gauges. And I understand 20 pounds is EPA, but that's for drinking water, that's not for fire hydrants. You gotta maintain a certain amount to keep contaminants out of the line for drinking purposes.
Respond to Ryan's question, the pressures, when that fire department rolls up the fire, they're gonna hook the nearest fire hydrant. And usually all in the same area, they're all the same pressure. No matter if they're 40 pound or 140 pound, they're gonna use that hydrant.
My question then is, if you hook up to that hydrant, you're not gonna get nothing out of it.
That's the first I've ever heard that.
Well, I'm
First I've
telling
ever
you,
heard that.
I understand that, I agree with you.
And it's
Randy.
not, it's not unexplainable too, that, I know they're opening, it for the first time this year, they're opening hydrants, multiple valves on it. We're trying to increase the flow through to flush the lines a little bit better, because what we've been doing hasn't been working.
All right.
The buildup in the lines is terrible.
I understand
So it's not
that.
unusual if they open multiple valves, outlets on that the pressure would drop to nothing, because it's all flowing out.
But my thought is, the nearest hydrant I could find was 1,200 feet on the corner of Harris and Ralph. There's one right there on the corner, down over the hill on Ralph, almost to Burlington, 1,200 feet. You can't lay 1,200 feet of line.
Are you saying there's no fire hydrant up there? Or they
There's
just-
fire hydrant, there's one right in the corner of my driveway.
Okay, well, this
They
is,
replaced it
this
once.
is, I don't know about anybody else here, this is the first I've ever heard we had fire hydrants up there that couldn't be used to fight a fire. First I ever heard that.
Well, I'm telling you, the fire department knows, the fire department knows you can't fill out of it because it don't have enough pressure. You can't fill a truck out of it, there's a hot fire down the street and you're fighting another fire, because it'd take you an hour to fill a truck at that rate, a good 30 minutes. You can't pump out of it, because if you do, you suck the lines, collapse the lines to and from, wherever. So, and then we don't know if the other, I don't know the numbers on the other fire hydrants at 1,200 feet away or over 1,000 feet away. They might not have the pressure to handle it or fill a truck out of it either. You can't run 1,200 feet of line. You've got to truck water and put a dump tank in there and keep the trucks coming. What I'm saying is, if there's a fire in my house or one of my neighbor's houses, they go up there and they hook a hose on that fire hydrant. You're wasting your time. Everything that you've done to hook that up is just make that fire go farther and stronger and harder, because you're not going to get nothing out of it to use. You will if you want to wait a half hour, you know what I'm saying? But not, you know. I'm done. I put you on notice. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Next, signed up to speak here this evening, Mr. John Henderson. Mr. Henderson, if you...
I won't be as long, I promise. I'm John Henderson, and I recently purchased some property over on Triumph Street, 399 to be exact. And there's two properties. There's the house, and then there's a vacant lot. And in between, on the records, there shows an alley. And what my intent is to have that alley vacated, properties resurveyed and combined, so I can do an extension on the house and add probably a 2 or 3 car detached garage. So basically, that's all I want to speak about, is just the petition to have the alley vacated. It's on the drawings. There's not a physical alley there. If you drive by, you'll see that it's never been established from what I see. Now, maybe back in the day it might have been, but as of right now, it's just all grass, and I mow it, maintain it. But I'd like to have that vacated so I could do an addition to the house and add a detached garage. So that's all I'm asking. And thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Henderson. What is the steps?
It's in the packet tonight. Yep.
Next, Greg and Christina Snyder, is that correct? And be 3 minutes there to come speak.
know, Greg Snyder, my wife Christina, and what we was come here to ask about was the Fairmont Cemetery. You know, our daughter passed away 4 months ago, and we had her buried up there. And we'd finally got around to picking out a monument, and was going to do with a workman monument. Was going to have them out of Gallipolis, and they were going to do like a headstone and then a bench, which there were several benches in there at the foot of the grave. And then when they called about it, they were told they are not allowed to put a bench at the foot of the grave. I started looking at the rules and then making phone calls, and kind of, I spoke to somebody at the utility department, I spoke to a guy at the cemetery, I spoke to Randy, and then ended up speaking to David, found out he was the guy to talk to, and he kind of told me about the city ordinance and stuff, which, you know, I didn't know anything about. But looking at the date that those were all enacted, which was, it's ordinance 941.22 about the placement of benches, that was enacted in August 10th of 2010. Well, I just took a little walk through the cemetery on a couple different nights before it got dark, and I found 9 benches that's been erected at the foot or side of the graves since that time. The last one was last year. So I'm just kind of wondering, and then on the other rules, it's on the ordinances, 941.21, 941.20, 941.22, about fences, shrubbery, and stone. I found anywhere from 9 to 13 violations since those ordinances have been in. So my question is, if they've not been enforced for 15 years, I don't understand why all of a sudden telling me I can't do it. It kind of seems like, you know, what's the reason there? I mean, I don't know if it's because it's me or somebody else, or I don't know who any of these people are. I'm from Oak Hill, so, but just kind of asking that, if that could be kind of either gotten out of or made an exception. You know, I was told it had to do with mowing the grass. I mean, if that's the case, I'll go up and weed eat around it. If people don't want to take care of it, I'll take care of it. No big deal. Just kind of don't understand the whole thing of that. Plus, she was 9 years old. Her vault's not as big and stuff, so the bench could be placed up further up onto the grave, which wouldn't be such a big deal. So I'm just trying to think of solutions here and trying to figure it out.
Yeah, we were told that the walls are 12 foot and she was only put in a 6 foot since she was only 9. So she has room.
That's what we're asking. We're just asking if there would be an exemption or repealing of that, because clearly it's not been enforced. So I don't know what changed now that all of a sudden, hey, after 15 years, we're going to start enforcing rules. That's been on the books for 15 years. So we're just kind of asking for that, either repeal it, change the date, give us an exemption or something, let us place it up a little closer. I mean, there's benches out there just thrown in the grass like somebody bought at Walmart or something. I mean, this is actually going to be done by a monument company. It's going to be a monument. It's going to have pictures of her and stuff on it. I mean, it's just kind of a way for us to remember our daughter, and kind of, like I said, I saw benches out there, and some of those were before the 2010 date, but, you know, when you're looking at them when you go up there, I mean, the guy at cemetery is like, well, you should have figured out before you buried her here. Well, you know, your kid dies, you're trying to take care of the funeral and all that stuff. I kind of told him that was kind of a jerk thing to say. And he was nicer the second time I talked to him, so maybe he was just having a bad day, I don't know. But we're just trying to figure that out. If there's something else we can do, some solution that can be brought on this. I guess that's it, unless somebody's got questions.
Questions? Thank you.
I remember that it wasn't a major deal when that came through. Do you remember? It was 2010. It seemed like it was listed as one of several things they wanted to change at the cemetery. Whether it was for convenience or whether they were breaking, it seemed to me maybe that was part of the deal. I do want to say I'm sorry for your loss. We have nothing but compassion for your situation. I'm sure I speak for everyone. I'd like to see us come up with some resolution on this, or a way to resolve this. We could look up that ordinance, maybe, Joe, and
I'm looking at it. Did you purchase a stone already?
the process. That's how we found out that that was allowed. When they called up to talk to the guy at the cemetery. and-
Was the bench part of the stone?
What?
Was the bench part of the stone?
It's going to have a headstone and then the bench was going to be at the foot.
They said there wasn't a lot of kid graves, so we had to settle for a different monument, and they were supposed to make the bench all about her.
I was just looking, there is an exception for if the bench or chair is part of the headstone, the gravestone.
Yeah, they told us,
Gravestone is another word for monument, which it'll have a picture of it, so it won't be a monument. It's done by a monument company. And it's like I said, it's not just going to be like a bench with the first thing put down in the grass. I get that's kind of a pain to weed around and stuff, but I mean, this is going to have a footer, just like a headstone, and be placed on that.
and from my understanding, they didn't have to be attached, because they told us as long as we put it side by side, that was fine, but I want to be buried beside my father, so we just would have done things differently if we
Yeah.
would have known beforehand.
So we'd have known that, we wouldn't have put her at the we bought 6 lots, they're like a family lot, and, we wanted to be next to her. And then they said, we would put her in the empty spot, but then I would put an empty spot between us, and we didn't want that. And we didn't know that, you didn't think to ask all that stuff when you just lost a child.
I was just,
Her thoughts are other places.
I was just looking to see what exceptions may work and what ones wouldn't, so.
Okay.
Says if it's part of the graves, then I'm supposed to see.
I would say just let us just examine on this a little bit, let Joe look at it, and we'll try and see if there's anything that's available.
Do you have any information on it, Dave?
No, just what information he and I have shared. Early in our administration, 2021, this was a very sore topic for almost a year and a half. And, it's whatever council wants to do. It's one of those things that a variant would be hard to do. Really, it needs to go back to the service committee to reevaluate if they want to make changes to that ordinance.
We spent a lot of time, and we didn't really solve anything. And we just kept uncovering more and more issues. We can take it back as committee. I don't know. The other portion of that is, in defense of what he's saying, these guys took office in 2020, right? So previous to that, the administration, the executive branch is in charge of enforcing the laws. The council just makes the laws, they enforce the laws. So when you have a mayor and an administration that kind of picks and chooses what they want to enforce, that's how we got to this. So when they came in, they started to look at everything, analyze everything, and we have to enforce what is on the books. That's kind of how all this works. Over the years, there's over $1 million worth of unpaid fees and whatnot to the cemetery over the last probably 75 years, I think we figured out. No one ever collected on any of that stuff, and then we have a levy that funds it, but the levy doesn't generate enough funds to cover everything. So the issue that we run into is we didn't have enough employees to cut the grass, so we had to figure out how we could maintain it. So maintaining it means that some of these things that are like ornate or decorative have to be sacrificed in the scheme of maintenance. A lot of people go up there and take, they mow and weed eat their family's plots and whatnot. But if you can't make it up there, then the city has to maintain that. So it's tough. It's a really, I mean, in the process of this, I lost my dad during that time, and it just, I feel for you, you know, but I don't know what the solution is. We've expanded it, and we've talked about, you know, and the expansion that all of the, you know, monuments are ground level, so they can just go in and just mow. So, I mean, as the chair of the service committee, I'd take it back and I'd be open to any suggestions. We did a thorough, like, you know, exam of the ordinance, and we did omit some of the things that were a little bit much, but ultimately we sat on what we're on now. So it's tough. I understand, but on the other side of it, people are paying their, you know, a levy for maintenance of it, so, you know, the city has to take care of it too. So there's got to be a balance, and like a line, there's a line, so it's like what, you know, what's acceptable and what's not. I'll be happy to take it on as a committee, but I don't know what a solution would be personally. That doesn't mean that someone else in the public or sitting at this table doesn't have a better solution to the problem. So, I'm open to any suggestions. You can reach me via email if you want to, if you have any ideas, and if we need to have a committee meeting, we can do so.
Thank you, Mr. Peters.
Dan?
Yes.
Excuse me. On behalf of myself and the city, I too want to share our condolences with the Snyder family. You know, Mr. Schweikhammer is just trying to enforce the rules. Like Mr. Peters says, we don't make the rules, it's our job to enforce them. The fact that maybe there was a lax of enforcement over a long period of time, you know, it's hard to deal with. That makes it even harder to deal with. But if you guys want to change the rules, it makes no difference to us. We will enforce whatever the rules are. But it's hard, like Ryan said, it's hard to make exceptions, and it's hard to correct errors of the past. But we certainly feel for their situation, and help them if we can, but, you know, we also don't want to create another problem in the process. So, that's all.
Thank you, Mayor. Anyone else? Comments? Thank you. Next on our agenda would be the approval of minutes. You have two copies that were in your packet. One for the regular meeting on September the 22nd, and one for the special meeting on October the 9th. Are there any objections or corrections to the minutes as presented to you in the packet?
Yes, Mr. President. October 9th, special session. I was absent, but on page 2 at the top, page 2 at the bottom, and page 3 in the middle, I voted yes for some stuff, but I was not here. So I would ask that we amend that to a big no, so the record reflects that I was absent for that special meeting.
You were absent to suspend the rules, but you weren't absent.
Oh, I was not here in a roll call. Just have those, just change the note.
Is there any other objections, corrections that need to be made?
I would make those amendments.
Is there a second? Second, Mr. Elliott. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The motion is carried. Next on our agenda is the committee reports. We'll start with utilities. Mr. Newkirk.
No report.
Thank you, Mr. Newkirk. Budget and finance, Ms. Colby.
No report.
Thank you, Ms. Colby. Police, fire, and traffic, Mr. Foster.
I have no report.
Thank you, Mr. Foster. Service, Mr. Peters.
Nothing to report.
Thank you, Mr. Peters. The auditor's report, Mr. Reed.
I don't have anything other than a couple ordinances, reducing appropriations, just to start cleaning up.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. City Attorney, Mr. Kirby.
I have nothing to report.
Thank you, Mr. Kirby. Chief Hinch.
No report.
Thank you, Chief Hinch. Mayor's report, Mayor Evans.
I'll update you on some of the projects. Our paving project for this year is nearing completion. We do have some painting, striping, stuff to do yet, and some repairs, still some repairs yet to the paving this year. I think they're supposed to start striping tomorrow, actually. Yellow lines, stop bars, that kind of stuff. Our crews are still working on Church Street, where they're repairing curb and gutter and making some repairs to the Brick Street also as they go. Excuse me. The Memorial Building project, the abatement has been completed. The salvage, contract to salvage the limestone that we hope to reuse in the new design is in the process of being awarded, and that should start probably in the next couple of weeks. And the bid to demo the rest of the building after that is out for bid right now. And so hopefully something will be happening with that in the next few weeks also. The downtown project, that Appalachian Community Grant project downtown, they are currently working on replacing the water mains and the water laterals into the businesses. They're on the Broad Street part of it right now. That's moving along. They'll be doing that. I think they'll stay on Broadway for the rest of this year until they have to shut down for bad weather. But they're seem to be making good progress on that. And that's all I have, Dan.
Thank you, Mayor.
Mr. President. I would like to say, I had a few people from the First Ward reach out about the side of Church Street where they replaced the brick. Everyone says it looks great. So, I'm just wondering when you're gonna fix the rest of it.
As soon as we can.
It looks really good.
As soon as we can.
It looks great, especially with the new curves in there. It looks great. Glad that hopefully we can save that.
Any other questions for the mayor? Mr. Swackhammer?
Yes, next week, we would like to open up leaf pickup. So anybody that needs a leaf pickup, they can call in to the utility office. The way they've done those in the past, and I assume they'll do it again, is they will wait till there's a grouping in a neighborhood, so they're not running hodgepodge all over town, and they'll do a neighborhood at a time. So we'll probably run that for the month of November. So if you got anything to have picked up, and you're a city resident, please call the utility office and get on that list. There's also a couple items in the back of your packets around some questions that was presented to the city that we had to get some legal responses on. Those are in there. So hopefully you've seen those. And then I do have a couple in the packets tonight. When we get to those, I'll explain those in a little bit more detail.
Thank you, Mr. Swackhammer. Questions for the service director? Mr. Elliott?
I should have caught it on police, fire, and traffic, but a couple things. There was someone mowing grass at CVS at midnight. Now, I wouldn't think we'd need an ordinance to prevent people from mowing grass at midnight, but apparently we do. So I am speaking for my neighborhood. So I hear this engine roaring at 11:30 on Friday night. I kid you not, they're mowing the grass at CVS. And they finished at midnight. I called the police, and the reply was, well, that's odd. I suggested they send somebody around but I don't think anybody, maybe they were tied up. I know there's more pressing issues than mowing at midnight, but that's one thing. I don't know if there's an ordinance about noise, because I wasn't the only one that was bothered by someone mowing at midnight.
Yes, there's a noise ordinance.
Yeah, there is a noise ordinance. The other thing is, on the south side of Pearl Street, from the alley on the other side of the bank, traditionally, there's been no parking on that side of the street. People have started parking there, a few times, and I thought we might as well put some signs out. If there is already an ordinance out there, and I don't know, maybe the chief could check on that at the department.
Where's the parking?
On this side of Pearl Street, from beginning at the alley, let's say from Church Street on, there's never been parking on that side of the street.
So you're talking about in front of the law offices, going up
Yeah, all the way to South Street.
to law offices, all the way to, is that Columbia? That's not Columbia, that's
Yeah,
Church.
but there were signs there before they replaced the curbs. There were signs,
I think there were.
there were no parking.
That said no parking on this side, yeah,
I
yeah.
noticed that the other morning.
Yeah, there's plans to replace some signs.
Oh, okay.
I heard him talking about it. David, do you?
I'll make a note of it, just
But
to,
it's the whole, it's everything eastbound or southeast.
Yeah, past
So
that
there
alley.
was one side and Jeff's side, but there was no parking down that entire
Correct.
headed southeast, headed towards Main Street.
Right.
But the signs are gone and curbs are new, so.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll get the signs back up.
Okay,
I'm not sure why they're not, but I have ordered new ones, I don't know. But we'll get the signs back up.
all right, very good, thank you.
Anything
That's
else,
all I
Mr.
got.
Elliott?
That's all I got.
Anything else for the service director? Hearing none, we'll move into the ordinance and resolution portion of our meeting, beginning with ordinance 44-205.
I have a question first. When you guys were doing the amendment to the minutes, did you do a motion to amend, approve, all in one? Because I only have one thing.
Yes, it was a move.
The motion to amend and to approve special and to approve regular, all in one.
All together.
So I'll make sure. I'll get that on the record. Okay. We're ordinance 44, 2025. An ordinance rezoning from medium-density residential MDR to industrial I, 23.163 acres owned by Consolidated Health Systems Incorporated and located on SSR Lot 97 and on Lot 64 through 87 of the Walnut Hill subdivision in the city of Jackson, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Discussion. Any further action to be taken upon ordinance 44-2025? Hearing none, this constitutes the second reading of ordinance 44-2025. Next, for council consideration, ordinance on third reading, that would be ordinance 45-2025. Ms. Coon?
An ordinance authorizing the Service and Safety Director to advertise for sale and to sell to the highest and best bidder timber from the Hammertown Lake area that is not needed for a municipal purpose under RC Section 721.15 and declaring an emergency.
Discussion.
again, if I may for clarity, we're not timbering the area. This is timber that, one, is either down over the trails or that we're cleaning up and piling up, or will be maybe some removal when we get our grant to expand the trails and stuff. So this is not a timbering project.
Thank you, Mr. Schweikhammer. Any other discussion? Ms. Coon?
Foster.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
Colby. Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Bach.
Yes.
Ordinance 45, 2025 is duly adopted. Next, for council consideration on first reading, ordinance 46, 2025. Ms. Coon?
An ordinance approving additional appropriations in the Jackson City Recreation Fund and declaring an emergency.
Could I have a motion to adopt ordinance 46, 2025 as presented to council? Mr. Bott, second by Mr. Elliott. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Discussion, Mayor Evans.
That is a grant that we got from the Foundation for Appalachian Ohio to do a project out at Boone and Rock, some kind of signage and stuff, I think. And this is just putting it back in the fund. Is that right, Mr. Reed?
I believe so.
Yeah. Okay.
Other discussion?
Mr. President, move to suspend the rules.
Move to suspend. Is there a second? Ms. Colby, second. Discussion? Ms. Coon?
Foster.
Yes.
Elliott?
Yes.
Colby?
Yes.
Peters?
Yes.
Newkirk?
Yes.
Young? Bach?
Further discussion? Ms. Coon?
Foster?
Yes.
Elliott?
Yes.
Colby?
Yes.
Peters?
Yes.
Newkirk?
Yes.
Young? Bach?
Ordinance 46, 2025 is duly adopted. Next, first reading, ordinance 47, 2025. Ms. Coon?
An ordinance approving additional appropriations in the general fund, professional services fund, and declaring an emergency.
Could I have a motion to adopt ordinance 47, 2025 as presented? Council, Mr. Elliott. Is there a second? Mr. Newkirk? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Discussion, Mr. Swackhammer.
Yes, the tree commission had applied for and received a grant to do a pollinator garden, at which time we also planted some trees over at the corner of Freeman and Logan. That was a reimbursable type grant, so this is the funds that we got reimbursed. It goes into general. We would like to have it to this line item. Tree Commission has identified 39 additional locations along Broad, Oak, and I think West, and there's one other street, I can't remember, Portsmouth, for new trees yet to be planted this year, and these funds would be used to pay for those. And this is part of the original budget from 2025 that we're doing this with.
Mr. Swackhammer. Other discussion? Second by Mrs. Young. Discussion? Ms. Coon?
Foster?
Yes.
Elliott?
Yes.
Colby?
Yes.
Peters?
Yes.
Newkirk?
Yes.
Young? Bach?
Discussion? Ms. Coon?
Foster?
Yes.
Elliott?
Yes.
Colby?
Yes.
Peters?
Yes.
Newkirk?
Yes.
Young? Bach?
Ordinance 47, 2025 is duly adopted. Next, for council consideration, first reading, ordinance 48, 2025. Ms. Coon?
An ordinance providing for the vacation of the alley between lots 30 and 31 of the J.A. Long's addition to the city of Jackson.
Do I have a motion to adopt ordinance 48, 2025 as presented, Council? Mr. Bob, is there a second? Ms. Colby? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Discussion.
Yeah, the property owner has already spoken on the reasoning he's asking for the vacation of the plotted alley. I have no additional information to add.
Any discussion?
Just that, I think the last maybe two that came before council, the last one didn't even get adopted. It died. Personally, I'm not for vacating alleys unless it benefits the public. We had a couple of instances where we did try to give away part of a street, so we didn't have to maintain it, and they gave it back to us, so we had to pave it. It was like a package deal, so they kept the alleys, but, and then the other one I can remember was a property transfer that was just overlooked on South Street, where someone at the courthouse or someone noticed that there was an alley between some property that needed vacated because there were buildings on it that were old. But just me, I'm just not in favor of it unless it benefits the general public. Whether developed or undeveloped, they're plotted out that way for future development possibly. So that's just where I'm at. So I have things.
Thank you, Mr. Peters. Other discussion? Mr. Bob?
Move to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend. Is there a second? So the motion has died. So
Second reading next.
there will be second reading the next time at our next meeting on the 10th of November. Next, for council.
Question?
Yes.
And it's kind of maybe for Joe. Is there any guidance in our ordinance about this? If not, I wish we had one, and maybe we could ask council to create an ordinance that gives us guidance there, what to do when that request comes along.
So, I mean, you are following what the ordinance requires. It's up to council to determine whether or not they want to vacate it. But this is the proper procedure.
Yeah, but there's no guidance or no reasoning to use to do it or not do it, is there?
No, I mean, it's up to whatever the best judgment is at the time.
Okay.
So there's nothing that says, it has to be unimproved or anything like that. There's
Right.
no requirement for that.
One question, why can't it be for sale? Like, if you want to, you have to pay for it, it's like city property. Like, if I want to close the alley, yeah, if you come to council, but if the council approves it, then you have to pay for it. Like, it's,
Don't look at me, look
I mean, that's
at
what I'm saying, it's like, it's a very old, like, system that we're using here. It's like, I don't think we should be giving away the city property. That's the benefits the public, and that doesn't benefit the public, so.
So to sell it, it'd have to be published
It's
and sold to
there's
the problem, I guess, with selling it is that it wouldn't be usable for anything if somebody other than the landowner bought it. With that, other than holding up then you run into risk of kind of extorting the current landowner as what you're going to use that property for.
Just in the interest of days gone by. For instance, the alley behind your house, Brian, went clear behind the house where I grew up on South Street and comes out at Huron Street. So that alley went all the way to, but it was somehow blocked from Dickinson Street before my time, or maybe when I was just a little kid.
Those lots all used to be 1 acre too. So
Yeah.
even where my house was an acre lot, so
Yeah.
all the way back to the
So,
track.
but there was an alley, all over town there were alleys, and they were for trash pickup. They were really used a lot in the old days. Delivery of coal. So as time went by, these became less necessary. And so over time, they began to abandon alleys that weren't needed. So that's just a little history of how, you all know this, but in the interest of this discussion, I'm just saying, we've abandoned a lot of alleys over the last few years. Sometimes the adjoining property owners agree, and it doesn't affect anybody else, so they just do it, so. That's the end of my story. Just trying to contribute here.
And to my point, that's why I wish there was some legislation that help council members decide, because there are a lot of alleys that are used very much. There are a lot of alleys that don't look used, but they've got city utilities in them.
Right.
That need access.
right.
So how do they just decide who gets an alley abandoned and who don't? I wish there was some guidance for council on that. Obviously, for us, it just comes by ordinance, it just comes to council to decide. But then I feel like if I was sitting on council, I'd want some kind of guidance on why to decide whether it does or not.
So if there is a utility or anything in it, that easement becomes automatic, so you do have that. So if there's a power line or sewer or water line that runs through it, that would stay. And that's included in the ordinances that are passed.
This ordinance will be taken up again at our meeting on the 10th. So I'm going to do some research on it. Ordinance 49, 2025, Ms. Coon.
An ordinance transferring funds from the city income tax fund, transfer out to the building and capital outlay fund, transfer in fund, and declaring an emergency.
Could I have a motion to adopt ordinance 49, 2025 as presented to council?
Move to adopt.
Mr. Elliott, is there a second? Ms. Young, second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Discussion, Mr. Reed.
This was $1 million that was put in the budget from the income tax for the rebuilding of the memorial building. So this was in your budget, transferred to that line item this year. So this is starting the process. So all we're doing is moving the money. It will not be spent this year, but this will hold it in that project fund next year from that point on.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. Other discussion?
Move to suspend the rules.
Mr. Elliott, second. Ms. Colby? Discussion? Ms. Coon?
Foster.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
Colby. Yes. Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Bach.
Other discussion? Ms. Coon?
Foster.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
Colby. Yes. Peters. Newkirk.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Bach.
Ordinance 49, 2025 is duly adopted. Next for council consideration, first reading, ordinance 50, 2025. Ms. Coon?
An ordinance reducing appropriations in the Hammertown Lake Improvements Project Expense Fund and declaring an emergency.
Could I have a motion to adopt ordinance 50, 2025 as presented? Council, Ms. Young, and second, Ms. Colby. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The motion is carried. Discussion. Mr. Reed, am I to take it that this is just the same process?
I'll take that one if that's all right. Okay. Yes, this is, we had the 310,000. This is a grant that the city hasn't gotten. We just have not gotten the funds yet with all the government activity. We do not expect to get the funds until next year. So it will be in the 26 budget. Therefore, we would like to reduce the 25 budget.
Thank you, Mr. Schwackhammer. Other discussion?
Hopefully.
They tell us we've got it.
Any further action to be taken on ordinance 50, 2025 as presented here?
If I may go ahead and add, we are finalizing the 26 budget to put in council's packets that you will start being able to review prior to next meeting. If we can get this passed, Mr. Reed's group can then make those adjustments, show that carryover, so that we can clean up what you'll be looking at prior to the next budget.
Motion by Mr. Newkirk to suspend. Is there a second? Ms. Young? Discussion? Ms. Coon?
Foster.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
Colby. Yes. Peters. Newkirk.
Yes.
Young. Bach.
Other discussion? Ms. Coon?
Foster.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
Colby. Yes. Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Bach.
Ordinance 50, 2025 is duly adopted. Next for council consideration, first reading, ordinance 51, 2025. Ms. Coon?
An ordinance reducing appropriations in the Parks, Trails, and Flood Mitigation Project Expense Fund and declaring an emergency.
Could I have a motion to adopt ordinance 51, 2025 as presented to council? Mr. Newkirk, is there a second? Ms. Colby, second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The motion is carried. Discussion, Mr. Reed.
Same thing, this is funding that we're supposed to get reimbursed for and get. We will not be using it this year, so bringing it all out of the budget. So this is just reducing this year's budget.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. Mr. Elliott?
I move we suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend, second by Ms. Colby. Discussion, Ms. Coon?
Foster.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
Colby. Yes. Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk. Young. Bach.
Further discussion? Ms. Coon?
Foster.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
Colby. Yes. Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk.
Yes.
Young. Bach.
Ordinance 51, 2025 is duly adopted. Next for council consideration, first reading, ordinance 52, 2025. Ms. Coon?
An ordinance reducing appropriations in the Main Street Sewer Lining Project Expense Fund and declaring an emergency.
Could I have a motion to adopt ordinance 52, 2025 as presented to council? Ms. Colby, is there a second? Mr. Bach, second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Discussion, Mr. Reed.
This project, we're reducing the amount this year again. But we get to the end of the year, if you do not have the money come in and you have to fund the account, we're not gonna spend this, so we're reducing it, so we don't have to move money in.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. Other discussion?
If council will remember, we did a lot of this the last few years at the very last meeting of the year, so they could balance their books. We're trying to get ahead of the game to reduce the areas that we know that we're going to need to reduce and take it off the budget so that we put it in next year's budget.
Thank you, Mr. Schweikhammer. Motion to suspend, is there a second? Ms. Young, second. Discussion? Ms. Kuhn?
Foster.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
Colby. Yes. Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Bach.
Further discussion? Ms. Kuhn?
Foster.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
Colby. Yes. Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Bach.
Ordinance 52, 2025 is duly adopted. Next for council consideration, first reading, ordinance 53, 2025. Ms. Kuhn?
An ordinance repealing and amending the City of Jackson's codified ordinance, Section 1316.99, relating to registration of contractors.
Could I have a motion to adopt ordinance 53, 2025 as presented to council? Mr. Peters, second by Ms. Young. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The motion is carried. Discussion, Mr. Schweikhammer.
Yes, one of the biggest issues we face with our contractor registrations is for contractors to come in, do the work, and get back out of town without ever getting registered. And their current penalty system is very cumbersome, and to a small point that it isn't worth our time to go after for legal matters because of the dollar figure. What we talked to Mr. Kirby about is we were looking for stiffer penalties in addition to the $100 fee or the $200 that now actually makes them react to getting registered. We're just tired of having, we spend a lot of time, Ray spends a lot of time doing follow-ups on contractors that come in, leave, you never hear from them again, they won't answer any of your calls, and it's not worth the small fees that we pay to go through the legal system to, we send certified mails, those are expensive, and this was the option that we thought would, if we're looking at criminal penalties, after we've made it one attempt, then that would get their attention.
Thank you, Mr. Schweikhammer. Mr. Peters?
What do other cities do? Are they misdemeanors? Is that common?
It's surprising that most of the others are much more rigid on having a building department that it requires inspections by the city. You have to have it posted, therefore you have to be a registered contractor. That's just not where the city's at. The city doesn't have someone that is licensed to be a building inspector. We get a lot of people that fly in on a Friday night and they're done by Sunday evening. We find out secondhand, we do our investigation, and that's, now we're chasing them.
Even paying $50, they're like, sure, that's a big job, here's $50 piece, right? Or legal. The way it's set up currently, it's like a $50 fee. So that's nothing in the scheme of things, but the other question that kind of, maybe we did or maybe we didn't, I thought when we did the zoning that we adopted some sort of code, or we were supposed to.
Not penalty code.
Right, but more along the lines that we were in line where maybe we could have some more, like you're saying, a building department where we could have more kind of oversight of that? Did we not pass that?
They've been already in our ordinances, the Ohio building codes.
It wasn't the Ohio building code, was it?
I think so.
Okay. So the other thing
Something along
is the car still says code enforcement.
Pardon?
The little car that they drive around in that says code enforcement.
Right. He's doing zoning,
Right,
the police is doing ordinances.
right, but I don't know. I think that we need to present Ray as the zoning enforcement officer, not the code enforcement officer, that's all.
So,
Drives a car
you
that
don't mind
says
me
code
asking-
enforcement.
you don't mind me asking what's the difference?
Well, coming from Athens, code enforcement gets out and writes me a ticket for something that the police could write me a ticket
And
for.
how often do you get those?
In Athens, you park in your front yard, you get one of those tickets. Yeah. Hey, you got trash in your yard, beer cans, things like that? Yeah, I know all about that. But what I'm saying is, we have to educate the public on what is happening, and I feel like sometimes we don't do a very good job of making them understand. We have social media that we can blast out everything, so I just feel like we need to do a better job of explaining these, because there are honest people out there that may not may not understand the compliance of registering as a contractor, who don't want a minor misdemeanor on their record. So if we do enact this, we need to do a really good job of letting the public know, hey, this is what's happening in Jackson. So, and I don't have a problem as long as Mr. Kirby doesn't have an issue of suspending the rules to enact it right away. I think he wrote it, so. Listen to Wayne, right?
I mean, you can certainly suspend them. It's not written as an emergency, so it'll still take 30 days.
Take effect by the first.
30 days.
I'll move to suspend the rules to adopt changes.
Is there a second? Second by Ms. Young. Discussion. Ms. Coon?
Foster.
No.
Elliott.
Yes.
Colby.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk.
No.
Young.
Yes.
Bob.
Yes.
This is-
It'll be second reading next.
So it'll be second reading brought forward, next meeting on the 10th. Next for council consideration, ordinance 54, 2025, first reading. Ms. Coon?
An ordinance establishing a designated outdoor refreshment area, DORA, in the city of Jackson, Ohio pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 4301.82.
I have a motion to adopt ordinance 54, 2025 as presented to council. Mr. Peters, is there a second? Ms. Young, second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The motion is carried. Discussion, Mr. Schweikhammer.
Yes, it's been discussed more than once around DORA, but no legislation has come forward. There are differences of opinions, but at least this gets the ball rolling. Council has the opportunity now to amend, adjust, do whatever they wish with the legislation that's before them.
Thank you, Mr. Schweikhammer. Any further discussion?
I'm okay with everything except the map itself. Public attended meetings, we kind of set on a map. And I think I'm okay with the exclusions. Let me see if I can see these here again. With the events not exceeding the days, suspended during Christmas parade, suspended during Apple Festival, and suspended during 4th of July. I guess associated events means 4th of July associated events. And then the weekends for trick or treat, trunk or treat. So I would ask that we amend Exhibit A with the map that we use for committee. And I don't want to give you this map, it's the only one I have, but I will come to your office in the morning so you can have a copy of it. But I would entertain that we amend Exhibit A to the map that we discussed in the public meeting.
A smaller version of that that I can attach.
I could get you one.
See if I can attach that to the order.
Like, someone did all this for us, so this is what I got. So I moved to amend the map to match the map that came out of committee.
Is there a second to the motion, amendment? Second by Mr. Bob. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried.
Did you have another amendment about the times or something?
I don't think so right now.
I couldn't hear you because they were looking for theirs and I was,
The beauty of this is that later it can be amended by the council.
so everything except the map.
Yeah, we just, Exhibit A would be replaced with the new map,
Okay.
which I have here, and I will give to you tomorrow.
Any further action to be taken on ordinance 54, 2025?
It wasn't all in favor.
Yes. Hearing none, this constitutes the first reading of ordinance 54, 2025. Next, council consideration, resolution 40, 2025. I believe it's a second reading for this resolution. Ms. Coon?
A resolution of the legislative authority of the City of Jackson to enter into an agreement with the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Jackson County, Ohio for fire protection.
Discussion. Hearing none, this constitutes the second reading of resolution. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Schweikam.
Yes, after the first reading, I said I'd bring forth their signed copy. I have presented that to Council Clerk, so she does have a copy of the contract where the Township Trustees has signed off on.
Thank you, Mr. Schweikhammer. Any further action to be taken? Hearing none, this constitutes the second reading of Resolution 40, 2025. Next, for council consideration, first reading, Resolution 44, 2025. Ms. Kuhn?
A resolution authorizing the mayor or service safety director of the City of Jackson to enter into an agreement with the Jackson County Economic Development Partnership.
Could I have a motion to adopt Resolution 44, 2025? Mr. Bob, is there a second? Ms. Colby? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. On discussion, Mayor Evans.
This is the same agreement we've done each year since I've been here, where the city agrees to help financially fund the Jackson County Economic Development Partnership. As mayor, I serve on their board. Also, it's a great group, does a lot of good in Jackson, does a lot of good for the city of Jackson. So I recommend we continue this.
Thank you, Mayor. Other discussion?
Mr. President? I move to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend. Mr. Elliott, second by Mrs. Colby. Discussion? Ms. Kuhn?
Foster.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
Colby. Peters. Newkirk.
Yes.
Young. Bop.
Further discussion? Ms. Kuhn?
Foster.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
Colby. Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk.
Yes.
Young. Bop.
Resolution 44, 2025 is duly adopted. This concludes our agenda for ordinance and resolutions. I want to thank council for their work. And looking at your agenda, under correspondence, Ms. Kuhn said that we have no correspondence, so the next line item would be old business. Is there any old business to be brought before council? Hearing none, we'll open for new business. Is there any new business to be brought before council? Mr. Elliott?
The Board of Zoning Appeals granted a variance this evening. That's all.
Mr. President, I forgot to bring this up in the administration report. Can we get some trash cans on the Main Street side of Manpower, like where the little footbridge is? I walk a lot of miles around that whole thing in the morning, and there's always a bunch of trash on that end, and there's no trash cans. So there's a trash can at the shelter house, and then one going out to the parking lot. There's nothing if you're headed out on Main Street, so people just throw the trash on the ground.
Ones with the holes in the lids, or you want to...
Whatever, it's something to catch the trash before they throw it down and they head out Main Street.
Let's see if we can get some, go ahead.
We have some plans to put new trash cans out there and add additional benches out there. We're just kind of waiting to try to coordinate them with what we do uptown also. Sure. So, but yeah, we'll get it. Thank you.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Peters. Any other new business to be brought before council? Mr. Evans?
I forgot to announce, that Friday night is trick or treat, and every city in the county, every kid city and village in the county, this Friday night, 5:30 to 7. So, and I just want to say, those who were complaining that we scheduled that on a playoff game night, they just didn't have faith in the Ironmen. They placed high enough to get a bid, and there will not be a conflict Friday night.
Can you make it not rain?
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. We haven't had it rain in a month. I'm gonna try.
On our agenda, there's an item for an executive session.
The agenda has it stated wrong, so I would say the executive session is the conference with an attorney for the public body concerning disputes involving the public body that are subject to pending or imminent court action. I would ask that the gallery be excused and everyone at the table is able to stay.
Is there a second?
Second.
If you don't mind, include the reason stated also, because we do have an update we could give on the city's employment contract with the union.
Can I asked you this when we started, if I can say for two reasons.
Yeah.
You can. Okay, so I'll also add that the executive session will consider it's a contract, right?
Negotiation.
What number is that, guys?
That would be one.
Yeah, okay, no, it's for preparing for, conducting, or reviewing negotiations or bargaining sessions with public employees concerning their compensation and or other terms and conditions of their employment. So 2 reasons, 1 session. Everyone?
And I second that.
Shelley, second. Ms. Green?
Foster.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
Colby. Peters.
Yes.
Newkirk.
Yes.
Young. Bach.
We stand into executive session at 8:17.
ahead, put us on the phone. Okay, now you do it.
The chair would entertain a motion for adjournment. Mr. Peters, second by Mrs. Young. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried.